Well, hello, everyone. We are so excited. We have Juan, and his last name, if you want to say it in Latin, it's Umanzor. If you want to say it in American, it's Umanzor. Umanzor. That's what he told me. He's like, well, do you want to say it in Latin or do you want to say it in American? And he started out part-time. He started out at the age of 20. He slept on his aunt's couch. He went from $0 in his pocket with zero support system. He's from El Salvador with a third world education, and he is now a multimillionaire. He's got 8 team members. He's done over 200 transactions each year. He's got 17 rentals. He also does flips. So we're so excited to have you. Welcome, Juan.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm very excited to be here because I love sharing, I love giving back, I love inspiring because in life is anything is possible. As long as you set it in your mind that you can achieve it, you can get it. So very happy to be here. And I actually want to correct something. I came to the country when I was 20 years old, did not speak the language, much less knowing the culture. And I started sleeping in a couch in the living room with $0 in my pocket.
Yeah, that's your success.
It wasn't until, and interesting though, I purchased my first home within 4 years of coming to this country. I was 24 years old when I bought my first house. I was started bossing tables at a restaurant, so I bought my first house within 4 years. And wasn't until 2002 that I decided that I saw the real estate market was starting to flourish. And I had already escalated from a busboy to a head waiter at that restaurant. And I said, you know what? What's next for me? I asked to be a manager at that restaurant, and they said to me, Juan, you're too valuable as a waiter that we cannot give you the position of a manager. So, and to me, that was a ceiling. So at that point, I said, okay, I'm going to get my real estate license in 2002. And by that time, to be exact, February 10th of 2003, I got my license and I started part-time. And my English was horrible. I mean, I couldn't even understand myself. And that year, part-time, I sold 17 houses. And you know what? I got my license on February 10th. By March, I was already closing on my first investment property. One of the best advice that I was given is, as I started, you got to become your best client yourself. Right. So I started, it was my first listing and my client says, I got to go. It was 15 days on the market. And I said, I'll buy it. 2 bedrooms condo. It was $115,000. I mean, that was 21 years ago. And the property's paid off. Somebody paid off for me. I mean, it's now probably $250, and I get $1,800 a month, which is amazing. Whether I work or not, I got money coming in every month, and that is the best way. If anything that I can tell everybody here listening to this conversation is like, become your best client yourself, invest in real estate. Real estate changed my life, so. And again, that first year part-time, I sold 17 properties. Again, I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't even know, because I just had come to America, right?
So let's back up for just a second. So your first...
I had to call her, right? I'm sorry.
How in the world, in your first year part-time, did you sell 17 houses? Like, what did you do to get the people to get the clients? What was your lead sources?
Well, I did it all, like they say. I did it all. I was like a rat looking for cheese when I started. But my number one tool were my business cards. I'm a walking advertising. Listen to that. Walking advertising myself. Like anywhere I go, it's an opportunity for me to talk to people. And so whether I'm at the gas station pumping gas, whether I'm at the grocery store, at the mall, anywhere, elevator, anything, that's an opportunity for me to talk to a human being and engage in a conversation. Remember, nothing beats direct contact. Nothing.
So
It's
you're
like,
saying, like, if you went to the grocery store, would you walk out with 2 new clients right away?
absolutely. I go out on a daily basis. I will get a client, 2 clients. And now I'm teaching my teams how to do that. I teach them all the time. I purposely go to lunch with them here in Bethesda. And on the streets, I say, watch how I do it.
Okay, so let's pretend I'm at the grocery store. I've got super healthy food because healthy food's really important to me in my cart. What are you going to do to get me to become your client?
Well, I actually just look for an opportunity to break the ice. Whether I love the shoes you're wearing, the purse you're wearing, or I find a way to give you a compliment, or if it's something about the day, if it's raining, or if it's sunny out there, whatever it is, I will just find a way to say, um, or if you're having difficulty with anything, or you need care, you need help with something at the store, I offer my help and I come to you. I just find a way to break the ice, and we start a conversation. And I normally will give you my car. And for our community, the Latin community, is a lot easier than Americans or other cultures because some people tend to be tight. But still, I approach it in a friendly way that at the end of the day, you will end up with my business cards. You know what I do, and you probably will search me up or something. I will say something that is memorable, and then you will, a year go by, 2 years go by, and I get calls from people says, "Oh, you gave me your car in this place," and the way I see it is, you got to be planting seeds every single day.
So one of the things that I talked to an agent about that came on the show, she said she hands out business cards, but then what she does is she gets them to put, because no one keeps business cards anymore. And so they do kind of a virtual business card. So they take the iPhone and she's like, can I do this? Can I call you? And then you can save my number in your phone under Realtor. So the next time you need it, are you always using just a regular business cards, or are you adding the virtual piece or getting their phone number in yours, or how are you doing that?
The first thing you need to do is get a wild card. You just don't have your regular paper card. You got to have a wild card. I don't have mine here. I actually, but I have a business card that is plastic, and it's nice. It has that wow factor. So, but I do have a virtual card. If somebody wants to sell immediately, because it happens to me, like I said, I'm looking for a real estate agent. So I said, let me call you right now, and then I'll send you my card, so you have my cell phone number. So I never go without having their phone number. So I say, let me write your phone number, and it goes smooth. And remember, you got to have a thick skin. Like, honestly, this is business, and you have to see it that way. In my career, and I mean, doing it for 21 years, had I had no's, I can count with my fingers. Honestly, people take it in a very positive way. I'm not intrusive. It's all very natural.
So hold on. So let's say we're at the grocery store. You've already broken the ice. After you break the ice and we've kind of built a little bit of something we have in common, maybe you said, I like your shoes, or, I love that same bag of chips that you have, whatever it is, you figure out some kind of connection. what's the next thing you're saying to get
Do you
them?
live in the area?
Okay. And let's
Do you
just do
live?
it right now. Do you live in?
Yeah. Do
Yes,
you
I do. Yes,
do you live
I
close
live in
by?
California.
That's amazing. Did you have the opportunity to purchase a home, or what are you doing with in regards to housing?
Yeah,
'Cause
I own my own home for sure.
that is amazing. How long ago did you buy?
About 6 years ago.
That is awesome. So you got an amazing interest rate, and you locked in.
Yeah. I have a 3% interest rate, and so that's kind of what's holding me back is that I do need to get a bigger house because we've got a bunch of kids now, but I feel like now I'm going to go from a 3% interest rate to a 6 or 7% interest rate. So we're kind of squished in the house that we're in.
You know what? I get you. And, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I love helping people building generational wealth. And there is nothing like, investing in real estate. So you actually are in an amazing position because, you know what? You can actually rent the property, okay? And the rent is very high right now. So you can actually rent the property, get some positive cash flow, and that will help you offset the cost of your other home, and then we'll start building a rental portfolio for you. I think I would love to actually come to your house, do a market analysis on a rental, and maybe we can even see about selling because you might have the opportunity to sell this home, get a lot of equity, and have the opportunity to not pay Uncle Sam a penny on all the money you're gonna make. And maybe we buy 2, 3 properties and we'll start building a rental portfolio for you. Because, I don't know if you knew this, but if you sell your primary home and you're single, you're exempt from paying capital gain taxes up to $250,000. If you're married, that will be $500,000. But that's just one in a life opportunity that you have, that you can actually get all this money, don't pay anything to Uncle Sam, and start building a rental portfolio. I've been doing this with my clients, and they're really thanking me for me lighting their brain about investing in real estate.
I want to tell you, one of the reasons why I joined and I just love Canzel is that I can get 100% commission, I get revenue share, and I get stock. I am making thousands of dollars every single month in revenue share and stocks. And I now don't have to work nights and weekends on real estate anymore. I've actually never been to a real estate agent's retirement party, and I want to be the first one that people are coming to at a young age. And I want to share with you some of my favorite resources. So if you go to joincanzel.com/free, there's a couple that I want you to download. One is a 20 free lead generating PDF. It's going to help you generate leads for free that you can download, as well as there's one on how to double your business. I don't want you to miss it. Go download it today. joincanzel.com/free.
I love that. And I love that every day you're making a commitment to, you're already going to the grocery store, getting face to face with someone. You're already going and running these errands. You just are putting in your mindset, before I leave this grocery store, I'm going to meet 2 clients or 3 new clients that either they're going to sell with me now or they're going to sell with me down the street.
And it's amazing to just, go out there and know how much people are wanting to get this information from us. We're the experts. We have all this knowledge about real estate. And if we go out there and just share that information, you will start attracting buyers and sellers. That's how it works.
Give me a few more like one-liners. Like, for example, maybe something about, would you love me to help teach you how to make passive income with a rental portfolio or something like that? Give me a few lines that have been working for you, that when you go to stores, you should almost have those right at the top of your lips. So once you build that first connection, this is the hook to get their number in your phone and give them a business card.
Well, I always say everything goes case by case, but when I started, I had a niche, okay, and it was the Latino community in the Metro DC area, and those in my community it's so easy. They trust you, and in an easy way that I would just approach them is like, just say hi, and then I come straight. Had you purchased a home yet? But I do it in a way that is really not, again, that I'm intruding or come imposing or anything like that. Very natural. And that is a line that I use. Had you purchased your home yet? And they say yes, not, and then we'll start a conversation from there. Um, I start talking with people, and it's nothing related to real estate. But then, they will probably ask me, what do I do? But it comes in the conversation, the real estate. And then depending on what happens, whether they're renting or they're already owning a home, I can advise accordingly at the particular situation. I mean, a lot of people out there are renting properties, and they, believe me, they could actually be owning a home and probably paying less than what they're paying in rent. So it's just bringing this information to them, like, buying a home and then doing Airbnb, the basement per se, or buying a multi-family property and, living in a unit and renting the other 2 or 3.
Giving them multiple things, like
Giving them options.
one half out and renting the other side out, giving them some different things to think about.
Giving them choices, giving them opportunities to think and have them dream about it, and then yes, it is possible to make it happen.
Let's switch gears and let's talk about leads. I know one of the things you had said, you get so many leads coming in and just from so many different sources. Yes. So as you talk about it, I'd love for the people to type that in the chat so that everyone can hear them. What are some of the biggest lead sources that come your way, and some ones that people might not even know about?
Believe it or not, when I started, I mean, that was crazy. That was just me, and there was the word of mouth and referrals. That was my business for the 5 years me in. It was just word of mouth, referrals, and me being a walking advertising. But then things changed, when the bubble burst and all of that. Technology was advancing. When I started, I had to use the map, or I had to use, MapQuest, to go to see houses. Now, we have all this technology, and now artificial intelligence that is part of us now. So things have changed, so we need to evolve. So now, I think for the past 10 years, I've been using Zillow. And Zillow has been great for me. I had used other sources, but Zillow has allowed me to expose myself. If you see my Zillow profile, I have 400 plus 5-star reviews on Zillow. And that exposes to a lot of things, like brokers from other states, wholesalers call me. I done deals, that sellers call me directly that want to sell their homes because I am exposed in the internet. So Zillow, about 30% of my business comes from Zillow. Then
give us some other ones that people might not be aware of.
HomeLight, it's another great source. HomeLight, they partner up with you, they're brokers, and they just want a referral fee, and then they give you leads. Also, Ojo is another one that I've been using, and they give you leads. The Referral Exchange is another one. I mean, and brokers that partnered up in different states. So I believe in sharing. I believe in giving. I had never had competition. I mean, I don't see anybody as a competition. there is plenty for everybody.
So give us a few more that are different sites. Just list the ones that you're getting business from.
Up City, I've been doing Up City, but I'm not very satisfied with that. Plus their referral fee is too high. What else I've been using?
You told me Ojo was another one.
Ojo, yes, I use
Fast Experts.
Yes, Fox Experts is another one.
So
those are the most important.
What are your systems and processes to make sure that the handling of the leads, what are you doing to like answer them quickly? Because if you're out at a listing appointment or you're gone, what is kind of some of the scripts that you use and any ways that you handle your leads to be able to get them to convert? Because it sounds like you guys do a great job on converting the leads as well.
Yeah, that's a great question. We've been using CRM for years now. I used to have Follow-Up Boss. I recently changed to Chime, that I was called Lofty. Love Lofty because it's integrated with the MLS. Plus, it has built-in artificial intelligence where we can actually start interacting with the client as soon as it gets in.
We use KV Core and it does all of that as well. Like it can literally, as it comes in, you can set up things where it just gives an auto response that doesn't sound like an auto response. It can text them and email them. You can add like emojis and things to make it sound like it's really you responding right away.
Yeah, well, there are different good ones out there. That is the one that is working for us right now. And the key here is get in touch with these clients ASAP. The sooner you get in touch with them, the sooner you connect with them in a personal level. Listen to this, personal level. It's very important. You got to, get to know your clients in a personal level, because people, they buy out of emotions, but rather as well, connecting with the human.
So what exactly are you doing like on that call to connect and make it more personal? I will tell you, my biggest, I say this until I'm blue in the face, but nobody listens. If you send an email and it's like sounds super professional, nobody answers. You have to write your text and your emails like you're writing to your best friend. And so I'll say that till I'm blue in the face and I say, let me see a sample. And it will be like, I'm cordially inviting you. You know what I mean? Like it just sounds so scripted and it doesn't sound like you have to say, would I send this email or this text to my mom or my best friend? If you wouldn't, and it sounds any kind of professional, it will not work. Do you agree?
Yes. And you really want to get them on the phone ASAP. That is the most important thing. And you know what? Understand their needs. That is so
what are you doing? Because a lot of people want to text initially. Do you have a text message that is compelling enough to actually get them on the phone?
You know what? Not particularly. A lot of people ask me, Juan, do you have a script? Whether, you go into a listing appointment or for a buyer, do you have any scripts? I don't. I'm the script. I have, had tons of experience, dealing with a lot of cases with a lot of people that I ask as I go, as the conversation develops. Like I will say, if I go to a listing appointment, I had 95% success rate that I'm going to come back with that listing signed.
Okay, so when you're at a listing, what is it that you're doing? You're saying you have a 95% success rate. What are you saying to them that's getting them to make sure that they list with you? What are you saying?
Well, the first thing I do, it's like, some people ask me, do you go straight to the kitchen and sit down at the table? Do you tour the house first? What do you do? it's like, okay, it all goes case by case, depending on the mood of the person. You have to learn how to read people. How are they feeling? What are they going through? What do they want to accomplish? And based on the first conversation you have on the phone with them, you will be able to determine what they want. Once you have that conversation on the phone with them, then you get to the house, you sense what's going on. I do, at least. I sense, and I want to approach them in the way they want to be approached. Because some people tell me from the get-go, Juan, I want to get this house sold ASAP. I want to sell as is. So I am a developer.
So you're finding out what their pain point is, and then kind of zooming in on that particular pain point. Is that right?
Yes. Obviously, I do want the best for my clients, right? So they're paying me to get the best result. So I'm going to tell them things how they are, but in a way that I'm not going to be interfering in what they want to do. So meaning that if they want to sell the house as is, and I know it just needs some cosmetic things to show in a better way, maybe even just to appeal to all the buyers and even to pass all type of finances, they might just need cosmetic things like peeling paint, or the handrailing is loose. It just needs to be tied up. If they're approaching their home in a way that they're saying, I want to sell as is, it's like I tell them, this is your jewel. This is your investment. You need to treat it in such way. And I do a lot of things for my clients.
But I do want to say, I'm going to take my biggest takeaway, and I'd love for everyone to share their biggest takeaway. My biggest takeaway that I think is so important that you said is no matter where I go, and if it's ladies, if you go to get your nails done, go get your hair done, you are walking into the grocery store, you are walking into Starbucks, wherever you're going, with the idea that before I leave this place, I'm going to get 2 clients in my potential for me to be able to set some kind of appointment. And I just love that. I think we forget about that so much. And if we wake up every day thinking that way, it's a game changer for sure. I love it.
Absolutely. And again, nothing beats direct contact. I see a lot of times I'm part of groups and says, what are the best sources for leads and this and that? I mean, nothing beats direct contact and just going out there, talk to people, go to neighborhoods and just walk, go to houses. And as you see people outside, tell them that you're going to see a property that is for sale. Do you have any friends or family that want to move into the area? Things like that are free, and it is your job to be in the field, seeing what's available for sale, and what's in the market, what people are doing. That is your field. You need to go out there and you'll see the difference.
I love it. Well, tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Well, Juan Umanzor Realtor at Juan Umanzor Realtor on Instagram and Juan Umanzor on Facebook. I'm a source. I love giving. I love helping others. Give back. If I can say something to everybody, get involved with the community. We all need each other. We got to work together. We have different talents, abilities. We all are supposed to share and make this world better. So we can do this. And I remember, there's no competition. The only competition is yourself. You versus you all the time. And be amazing.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Please show him some love in the chat. We're so grateful that you came on with us. This was a wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate you.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and a review so we can get this out to more agents. And tune in next week for another power-packed episode. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Podcast.